Hey there, senior leader, and welcome to the Talent Sherpa podcast. I'm your host, Jackson Lynch, and today we're going to dive into something every single one of us has either witnessed or accidentally participated in. Burnout. Yep, burnout. You know, that special kind of exhaustion that isn't fixed by PTO or pizza parties or casual Fridays. That kind that whispers, you're doing leadership wrong. But we often misinterpret as, our people need to toughen up. And let me just start by confessing a story from my own journey, because, hey, we all love to learn from someone else's mistakes, right? Well, today, I am volunteering as tribute. I once worked with a leader, we're going to call him Rick. Rick thrived in chaos. If there wasn't a crisis to handle, he didn't know what to do. He would practically invent one. No kidding. He genuinely believed that urgency equated importance. And so Sunday night emergency calls on the docket, Friday evening emails labeled urgent, endless firefighting. This was Rick's leadership playbook. Most of it wasn't that important. And if you weren't willing to play along, then you clearly did not want success badly enough. Now, at first, I admit I missed the signs. I was an HR leader, an experienced one at that. And even though I know that something felt off, I initially saw Rick's chaotic style as ambition and urgency. But after watching highly performing, deeply dedicated employees check out emotionally or physically walk out the door, I realized I had made a crucial mistake. Rick wasn't leading. He was burning people out and labeling it resilience. And I promise you, I'm not going to make that mistake again. And my mission today is to ensure that you don't either. Because here's the hard truth we've got to wrestle with. Burnout is not a motivational issue. It's not about your team's toughness or lack of grit. Burnout is actually a massive systems failure, a flashing red light and a siren, a neon sign telling you something in your organization's leadership and operational structure have cracks, big cracks. When you see burnout across your teams, it's tempting to double down on resilience training. I get it. I've done it. But the moment you demand resilience without designing recovery, you're not failing to fix the problem. You're making it worse. You're gambling with the most important resource that you have, your people. So let's unpack what burnout really signals, because trust me, it's deeper than just workload. First, burnout tells you that trust has broken down. Your people might still show up, but they're conserving energy. They're holding back. They're keeping their best ideas to themselves because they're exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. And trust me on this, no amount of motivational posters or inspirational quotes about hustle can rebuild that lost trust. Second, burnout reveals a lack of purpose. If you work without meaning, it quickly becomes transactional. When employees can't connect what they do every day to something larger than themselves, motivation evaporates. The work turns into tasks, and tasks turn into burdens. Rick never got that. He assumed effort equaled value, and that if everyone was working late, we must be winning. Spoiler alert, we weren't. And third, burnout shines a spotlight on your culture, the actual one, not the one written in your corporate brochure. Culture isn't what you declare, it's what you tolerate. It's the last 100 decisions that you've audited. Whatever you find, that's your culture. If you reward firefighting, chaos becomes the culture. If you reward outcomes and intentional execution, clarity and effectiveness become the culture. Rick's culture was about looking busy, and that quickly drained the team of its energy and creativity. Now, let's talk about the big resilience myth, that idea that resilience means pushing through, enduring pain, working longer hours than anyone else, just grinding, gritting it through. That's not resilience, that's survival mode, and it's not sustainable. Resilience is about managing energy, not enduring stress. Michelle Cederberg's research points out something that really hit home for me. Highly resilient people often suppress their own needs. They will take on more and more until they finally break. And when they do, it's catastrophic for them and really costly for the organization. So what do you do instead? Well, first of all, shift your focus from activity to outcomes. Rick judged performance by visible effort. Who stayed the latest? Who sent the most emails? Who seemed busiest? It was all optics. I have another word for that. but I can't say it on the podcast. Instead, measure and reward outcomes, what actually gets delivered, not who looks the busiest. And you should ask yourself regularly, did this effort drive real results, or did it move the business forward? If it didn't, you're working on the wrong stuff. Next, build systems of trust by eliminating ambiguity. People burn out when they don't understand. When they don't understand expectations or the roles, that's when they burn out. Trust, in fact, is what grows from clarity and transparency, from leaders being predictable, honest, and even human. Admit mistakes openly and act on the feedback quickly. You don't need perfection to build trust, just consistency and a little humility. Then you got to operationalize meaning. It's not about those inspirational quotes on the wall. It's about clearly showing up every day and showing how every person's role connects directly to the organization's larger strategy. Because when you embed purpose into those daily tasks, employees see their contributions as meaningful, not transactional. They show up fully engaged because their work actually matters. And finally, design your work for sustainability. Recovery isn't a perk. It's got to be a necessity. Good organizations integrate rest and boundaries into their operational rhythms. Stop expecting 24/7 responsiveness and start measuring people on what matters. High-quality outcomes delivered within a sustainable rhythm. No more midnight emails disguised as flexible work. Let your people rest. Rest isn't a weakness. It's strategic. Now, to make this tangible, let's recap this as clearly as I can. Burnout is systemic. It's not individual weakness. It's your warning alarm. You need to reward outcomes, not optics. Effort is not inherently valuable unless it creates results. You need to build structural trust by clarifying roles and responsibilities and expectations, even more so transparently. Operationalize purpose so that every task clearly connects to the larger mission. And design work sustainably. Prioritize human energy, not constant availability. And here's what I learned the hard way from my time with Rick. If you constantly manage from crisis to crisis, eventually people stop believing in you. Rick kept pushing the pedal to the metal, but the car wasn't moving forward. It was just blowing out the engine. I watched talented people leave because the chaos wasn't energizing any longer. It was exhausting. And the worst part, Rick saw their departure as a lack of commitment. He never understood that commitment needs clarity, trust, purpose, and sustainability to flourish. And I missed it at first. I knew something felt off, but I misread urgency as energy and passion. And now I see it clearly. Burnout is always a leadership issue. It always is structural, and it's always fixable, but only if you recognize it for the flashing red light and siren that it really is. And listen, I'm sharing this openly because I don't want you to repeat my mistake. Great leaders don't thrive in chaos. They thrive in clarity. They build environments where teams deliver their best without sacrificing their health or their happiness. So senior leaders, if resilience is your goal, and it really should be, make sure that you understand what true resilience is. Not endurance, energy management, not survival, thriving sustainably. Your teams deserve it. Your organization needs it. And you are the one capable of leading it. And with that, here's your cue that we're wrapping up. So it's time to pay attention again. Burnout isn't solved by pushing harder. It's solved by designing smarter. Outcomes matter more than optics. Trust is built structurally. Purpose must be operationalized. And sustainability is strategic. It's not optional. And remember my lesson from Rick. Chaos is not leadership. And burnout is not resilience. And that's it for today. So please know, I am so grateful that you joined me today. And thanks for listening for a few minutes. If you found value here, please share it with others who might also benefit. And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe, because that's how we grow and help more leaders to thrive. Hey, that was a rhyme. I'm going to do that again. For deeper insights and more resources, head on over to my Substack, will you? It's at talentsherpa.substack.com. And if you're preparing for your first CHRO assignment or recently stepped into the role, our cohort group kicks off in September with early bird discounts available soon. So until next time, keep adapting, keep leading, and keep on climbing.